hello. One more minute and then I will get this going. Hey. And maybe later we will also have Sonder. He will give us a little insight on options. So let's see. But I know it's early in his time zone, so let's see if he can join. So, a little bird told me that some of you were trading the weekend. Let's see the chat. Hey. All right, let's get this going. So let's have a look at the daily profiles first. What do we have open here? Pre-market, pre-close. So the dailies are not looking great, to be fair, because we have consistently lower point of control. And I mean, even this one, like, we had a bounce up, but that's quite physiological in a situation like this one, when we have a big sell-off. So all in all, the situation doesn't look really great. Today's point of control is much lower, especially because it bit into the value area low, okay, was accepted again above, but all in all, we are below the volume point of control, okay? So if nothing crazy happens in the next 10 hours or so, during Asia session, I would like to see a move upwards, okay? I would allow, as I know that it needs my permission, but to maintain this value area, I would allow an open, rejection, and a drive up, okay? But if we keep grinding, okay, so if we, again, like last weekend, if we bite into support like this, at some point it's going to break, right? The same as last week. Like, we will see it on the other chart later. It's not looking great, as usual, as usual in the last month or so. We have a low volume node here, some single prints that were not repaired, okay? But I don't see momentum. I don't see momentum at the moment. Well, it's a weekend, but this doesn't really inspire much trust, okay? Was a sweep above, rejected, okay, and back to point of control. So I would like to have a look at the sessions. So just the main ones: New York, European and Asian sessions. Yeah, like all in all, that except New York, okay, here, and this one looks like a New York session too. Yeah, I really didn't see any initiative around here. Every time we try to get outside value area, we're rejected. And the problem is that when that happens, market takes the path of least resistance. So we're slowly grinding lower. Let's see if we get a rejection in this area and we can move back up. And let's have a look at the other chart. All right. So let's start from the daily. So if I was, I'm not, but if I was an ICT trader, okay, this would be like, what is it, a wick off? That's how they call it. So like when we set, key highs and key lows, that's pretty well known, okay? And then we get a so-called manipulation phase. That's what they call it, I think, in ICT. And that could be it. Yes, we could still see a channel, right? Channel here. But honestly, it's very, I don't know, in danger somehow, because it's the first time that we stay there and we punch through the lows. So if I don't see a drive up tomorrow, either Asia, Europe, or New York, I might start to be more pessimistic about it. Not that I care, because I'm comfortably out of spot for Bitcoin. But I might look at shorting, okay, if we start driving lower during Asia Open, which is something that Asia does consistently. When things get shaky, either Singapore or Seoul, they sell off. Like they did it here, they did it, I think, here. Now where was it? We're gonna have a look at it on the 4 hour. This was Asia, I think. Yeah. And then maybe here was also Asia. Yeah. 9 a.m. Asia time. To front run what New York would do, basically. So someone got to do it. Let's do it first thing on a Monday. Let's get it over with. So let's see. So this is it for, in my opinion, for the higher time frame. There's still another thing that we could look. That's the fibs. So honestly, this one now is not an option anymore. Okay, so starting the retracement from here to here. Okay, so treating this one as an impulse, I mean, could be, but it doesn't work that well, and that's in the end, that's how the narrative goes on Fibonacci. If it doesn't work, it's not the right one, if it's not respected. This one, it's also not looking that great anymore. It's getting washed quite a bit. So we're left with two options here. And honestly, this one looks like a nice reference point now. Okay. So this one starts from the all-time high. And yeah, I mean, we're floating and got rejected very hard under the 236. Okay, so our bottom level would be 81, like this one, and we got rejected at the 0236. And also, like, we should mention that we got rejected at the 0382. And you know, these two are entries for longs. Okay, so with a blow off top like this, things look more bearish than before, in my opinion. But that's just, you know, making hypotheses. I want to see a reaction here, and if we can regain 91, around 91, 91.5, then fine. Maybe we can think about taking another high here. My ultimate goal would be landing in this area, but that might take a while. Okay, I don't think we're done with this. So this would be also the area where I will start looking at spot orders. Okay, a little bit of spot. I have no problem buying late. Okay, if we hit 75, grind there and then move up. Okay, so something like this. Sit here, do a little bit of grind, final sweep, and then we move up. I have no problem entering here for spot. No problem. I'd rather be late, but you know, be right, than being early and then seeing it go like a 60, 55, which is absolutely on the table for now. So as some of you know, I'm also testing version 3 of an indicator that's going to be free. The code is not going to be open sourced because that's my research, but it's going to be available. Now I want to do, I'm doing my own testing. I've been trading with it for some time. I will do some little testing and then just let it open. But if there's any bugs, any stuff like that, like I cannot control if there's like 200-300 people trading with it. But if it's like 10 people that test it, it's going to be easier to fix. And so far worked pretty well on these stops here, and also on these levels around here. Not that I traded much last week. I traded very little because I was particularly busy with other stuff. But this week, I think I will focus more on the market, and because I really have some goals of performance for this week. But I've seen that many of you made a lot of progress, so that makes me very happy because you're putting effort into it, and that pays back. So I don't see Sonder yet. So what we could do is a little like interlude with a Q&A if you guys want to shoot some questions. Okay, then if you can join, he can present his own research, or otherwise we keep charting a bit, looking at other stuff like ETH and some alts like Hype and maybe Farcoin. Why not? I'll give you a couple of minutes. If nothing comes up, I will just move to the alts. No, Ethereum always looks worse than BTC for some reason. But wait. Give me a daily. So this is blind charting for me, guys, because I don't look at ETH that much in these days. I lost all interest around here. I think I'm just stuck with a lot of spot, more than I'm comfortable with. I wanted to sell, but then I kept. And I mean, the entry was not bad because the entry was a few years ago, but didn't do much. So what do we have? Let's see. This one. And what else? I mean, the weekly doesn't look that bad, to be fair. But we cannot get out of, like, now we're absolutely lateral. It was a nice move here and a little attempt of breaking out, but compared to Bitcoin, actually it doesn't look that bad on the daily. But we lost this trend line. So if ETH can even just regain 3K, just 3K, there might be a little case just to hold a little bit more than BTC, and then we could see this chart run a little bit. We could see ETH BTC run. Actually, there was a lot of volume here. A lot of volume. And I would love not getting liquidated here. I would really love it, because I'm into a position. So, but I think this little trend line here is lost. That's a small position, but you know, volatility of this chart is insane. So a little risk on this one could not be bad, but probably at this point we might go and take this trend line here. Maybe, before we bounce back. It's not that bad, but it's also not looking amazing, right? Yep, because we're well below the 0.236, so the 23%, and if we cannot like go and regain it. Can you see the feed? I lost it for a moment because I fat fingered. Okay. So let's have a look at Farcoin here. Well, this is not bad, guys, because this line, I drew it, what was it? Last Sunday, I think. And I think I took a trade around here on the Monday, or was it? Maybe this one? Yeah. I took a little long here, just a couple of hours. But yeah, so honestly, I'm not a very passionate trader of this alt, but it's been doing numbers, and if it can hold this and bounce back, I know that because I'm talking with a couple of guys like Geeked, not Trade, this charts, and so far it's been reacting well. Like, doesn't mean it's going to happen again, but this could be a little nice setup with small risk, considering like small risk as far as the volatility on this pair goes, because we have what, like every time, even if you set a stop, say there, yeah, it's like 2.5%. So even if you set a tight stop and you want to go target, I don't know, higher level here, it's still nasty. It's still very nasty. Ah, no, here. This is the trade I took. Like, we're on the daily. Here. Was last Monday morning. Yeah. So it was a tap on this. Well, not really a tap on this line, but a little bounce here. Because I was late in shorting this stuff. Because they started dumping it at 8:30. I think it was. That's why I point the finger at Singapore. But yeah, the bounce was nice, and here historically bounces back. I'm not advising you guys long it on a Sunday, but if I had to take a long, it would be probably, well, if Bitcoin holds, okay. If it's not a Bitcoin led move, so far it's been behaving kind of nicely and reacting very well, respecting the levels very well. I would allow this as an entry for a bounce, like seeing price hit this line and reverting back very fast, and then my target would probably be again this level with a super tight stop, but again after it bounces, not before. Knife catching can be done, but has to be done correctly. And also you want to see volume driving it back up a little bit, so which is not a lot on this pair, but you can see a little spike in this. If there's a lot of liquidations and then you have absorption, then fine, on thin books it can be done, especially, well, okay, this is very spooky to take. I think I exited around here, honestly. I got in like here and exited around here. You can find the trade somewhere in the chat. But this one has been doing numbers. The only problem is that if you do leverage, if you have too large of a size here, it can really, like, if you lose a trade, it can hurt. And some of the people I'm following more closely trade this, but losing a 2% here just because you have to set a decent stop. Like this one is 1.7%. If you set it down here, it's almost 3%. Like, those are not small numbers when you set a stop on such a volatile pair, right? So I will skip the penguin meme, and I will look at hype, because that's a pair I'm very interested in. Has to buy bit. So I don't know if we, well, if we get, which is possible, hype below 20, okay, I don't think it's going to stay there for more because all the people I'm talking to, they will empty their magazine here on spot buys. So I have now set some scale orders. I think there's something like starting here and then front running by a few cents every round number. So let's say 1710, 1610, 1510, and so on. Sub 15, I'm very happy also. I don't think we will see that 13, to be fair, because a lot of buyers will step in. But it's good to keep an eye on it. Okay. Well, we don't have much historical data, of course. But this, in my opinion, is it's for the long run. Something that you buy. Well, if you want to buy it, like if you're looking to get some alts, some spot. In my opinion, this is something you buy and forget about it for 6, 8, 12 months. And you can stake it, okay, and get some yield, which is something that I'm already doing. It pays decently because the economics of it are quite decent. So I don't exclude that we might see it close to triple digits, but it's going to take some time, okay? It's not like a 10x immediately. I think this downtrend will keep going for a bit, okay? Might even get steeper. And then the moment we start to be lateral and separate from Bitcoin is the moment that people will flock in. So I think a lot of the buyers in this area are being shaken off. Okay. A lot of the buyers that here thought, okay, we're going to 100, they've been shaken off. If you're one of them and you haven't been shaken off, of course, now it's a little bit tricky to get out. But you can always stake it, get paid a bit in hype to hold, and don't think about it for several months. And I think this is going to be a major runner because, they're integrating also on-chain, let's say, equities, okay? So you can trade on Hyperliquid, you can trade SP500, and no, SP100, I think, and single names, and gold, and whatnot. And that's all works in its own economy. So the chain and all the hyper EVM, they're really taking off. So I don't see it as a bad buy. I mean, if BNB is up there, then hype belongs up there too, in my opinion. Because there is a lot more use cases in the present and in the future. What do we have? What else? Let's see if you guys have something here. Oh, some questions. Have you tried to use DPO together with volume profiles side by side? Yes, I do. I just saw another post from the Silicon Bunker using this setup. Yeah, it's here. Like this little thingy is a volume profile. You can change the setting of the volume profile uh, uh, uh. So here you have volume profile. You can position it left and right. You can display the delta only. That will only give you the delta. You can do little different settings here. So yeah, I use both this one for the session, and I use this one as a visible range, which is kind of cool because I can just select, the week. Let's say this is Saturday, or it's Monday. Give me the Monday, Tuesday, Monday. Here. Okay. So I get the profile for the week, and it's very useful. If I just want the daily or something, I can just look at the session or display the TPO for the single session. Let me turn off the other ones, and you get a nice volume profile here. Now I set the total, but you can just set the delta if that's your thing. What else? Yeah, I think in the books they also have the fixed range volume profile. So it's the thingy that you draw. Let's say they have it also on TradingView. And basically, I think it works like this. And it gives you the profile of the area you selected, the volume profile. Yes, I use it a lot, the volume profile. What do we have? To use BTCD, USDTD, and USDCD when you look at HCF prospects of crypto. So actually, I used to look at it a lot, especially USDTD or USDCD is pretty similar because it's basically an inverse. It's basically an inverse. Reads the same as ETH BTC as a pair. We have it here. It's like mostly inversely correlated. I say mostly because it can mess around a bit, but yeah, you can something that you can do is set a resistance on this or like a support, and basically inverse it on BTC. Geeked does that a lot, uses it a lot. Is a very proficient user. To me, I'm not a fan of looking at too many charts on, like, especially when I'm trading a single asset, because 90% of my trading is on BTC. But it's definitely useful to look at. Because, for example, like these levels match very well. They're mostly inversely correlated, but as you can see, we don't have an all-time low when BTC is an all-time high. It behaves a little bit differently. But so far has been a good guide. And I mean, if I were to trade USDC or USDT, this would be bullish as fuck. And that's not something that bodes well for BTC. Okay. So yeah. There's that. But as I said, I'm not a very proficient user of this chart because I try to just focus on a single asset. Okay. But yeah, very bullish looking chart. We're pushing in that resistance very hard. Let's see what happens. Second, thoughts on options and how to use it for your own advantage. I see a lot of order flow people talk about it. Yeah, options actually. Uh, I have a little plan with Sonder to make a little reading of his option setup. Okay, because he is really on point when it comes to options. So, but I don't think he made it today. But when he joins us, he will present that part. I think is much more precise and systematic than me. I mostly use options to confirm my higher time frame targets. Okay, so what's the max pain point? For example, that's a very useful thing. So basically, when both the majority of puts and calls at strike date, so expiration, are offside compared to their strike price. So that's being very consistent, but you can do a lot of things when you keep into account options. So I might do a module later, but for the time being, I think Sonder would be very useful in that. So there's a plan for it, and yes, it's very good to use. It's just like everything. You either specialize in options, okay, like Sonder did, or you use them for confluence. Stuff in the middle, to me, is a bit outfacing. So just select the way you want to use them and be consistent with what you do. Like everything, like if you treat them like a confluence point, like an indicator, for example, like you can treat it as you treat an indicator, fair, but give the correct weight to things. Unless they're your specialty and you just trade that, that's fine. Like me, I trade, I don't know, price action, order flow, TPO. Make it your specialty, but nothing like in the middle, I would say, because they tend to be very confusing if you don't have a clear metric to employ the options, like how they look, how the chart looks. Well, chart is more of numbers. You need to look at a lot of numbers when you do options. Bias to trade says SCRT USDT looks great. Let's see if it looks great. Oh. Secret network. Hey. I gotta see if this is a Head and Shoulders or not. I gotta check what happens here. It definitely looks like it could bounce here. At the moment it turns, it can get a little bit nasty. But yeah, maybe a little lag there. Maybe a little lag. I don't trade this pair. I know nothing about it, but it doesn't look that bad. Just like this, checking levels and so on, because it's got a rejection here, but if it keeps pushing, why not? If we get an alt season, yeah. I mean, pretty flat, but probably there's some rotation into it by the look of it, because look at the volume spike. Look at the volume spike. I bet my ass that some big players have a lot of bags accumulated in the last few months, so they are really looking forward for exit liquidity. Uh, but why not? Oh, there's Sunder. Agatha, I will get back to you at your question, but no, I don't use the default settings. Here's Sunder. Hey, Sunder. It's going to give us a little explanation about how do I invite you to speak. Invite to speak. Okay. Okay, I will carry on. Okay. It's going to join 5 minutes later. He wakes up very early in the morning. Um, okay, Agata asks, if I use default TPO settings? Not anymore, no. So I changed them a little bit. We got the Euro session. My custom is a UTC 7 to 17. Because that takes Frankfurt and Central Europe also. So that's why I call it Euro. Includes also London. New York is at UTC 14:30 to 21. Then pre-close. Well, I set it at 16 ET. And that goes until the end, actually, pre-close of the daily, okay, not of New York. That's how I treat it. And Asia starts from 00 UTC until 8 UTC. Okay. Even if I don't really count, probably Singapore opens a little bit earlier. So if there's anyone from Singapore, maybe they can confirm. But I think it opens a little bit earlier than 00 UTC. But yeah, these are my settings, and then I have just the daily. As for the tick size, we get 20 now. Value area, of course, don't change it because we're not doing a revolution in how standard deviations are calculated. Block size, of course, 30 minutes. I see the letters, volume profile, and what else? Yeah, then I have my colors. That's like you can check in the recording later. Or just copy my space. Is in the link here, my workspace. So you can just copy this one. I'll drop it in the chat. Why 20? Because lower gets a little bit noisier, and honestly, it doesn't make that much of a difference for me. 10 or 20 ticks in the end. It's just that I'll show you. I used to use 10 ticks at the beginning, but maybe I still do on the daily. Yeah, on the daily is 10. I mostly use the daily. It's just if I decrease it, what is it? This is pre-market. Let me see pre-market. If I decrease it, I don't know. It's a little bit too tiny for me. Like it's just personal preference, I would say. So here's the thing. Market profile is not an exact science. So you should really go, that's my advice, because I've been using it for many years, go with whatever floats your boat. Because it's a very discretionary type of thing. So some people will say use 5, 10 tick size, use 10, use 20, use 30. The answer is whatever you prefer. If you prefer 10, go with 10. If you prefer 20. For the daily, I use 10. because it's a little bit more granular, but it doesn't really matter if you get one more box here or not. Okay, so it's not life changing. If it's a poor high, it's a poor high. If I get like one or two more boxes, doesn't change my life, to be honest. So what maybe this one would be a poor low, but I don't know. Maybe I have only two boxes. I'm just saying, only two TPOs. But yeah, all in all, not that much of a difference in my opinion. What matters here are more shapes, single prints. Those aren't changed on the tick size. Okay, point of control is unchanged on the tick size, and also it's never a single line, but point of control is more of an area. And again, we take this one to set a rule, but reality is probably going to be something like this. The relevance of the point of control anyways. So if you have a different tick size, it doesn't matter. Even if you add like a 50, you can still use it. Then 50 to me looks a little bit more like a Lego box, like a Lego construction. But Sonderclass, there he is. You're free to the audio. What do you mean? Okay, let's give him a minute. I think it's very early where he's from, but he will present about options, so which Sahan was asking before. So as soon as he joins, I will mute myself and let him take over from there. But these are new faces here. Shay bias the thread. Fat Need, I remember him, and then and also Hayes. No, Hayes, I've seen him before. And yes, this week we have Sokyo on to explain a bit about the terminal. I think it's 27. I brought it somewhere. I think on the 27 we have Sokyo from In Silico Terminal, which is a good friend. Oh yeah, just okay, guys. He doesn't have the audio, but drop the questions about options in the chat for him. If he's got a presentation, also if you have a document or something, feel free to drop it. But he's going to do some Q&A this way. You can speak if you sort it out, anyways. Let's see if we can get something. Well, I'd rather, if you have anything to present or something. Use the coin glass, a good one. I remember. No, wait, but I think you're muted. Oh no, now we should be able to hear you. but we don't. Okay, I'll put this up. Okay. So, gamma exposure. Just give me a second to read it, guys. Ooh, okay. 90K. What's that? Let me get a BTC chart here. Okay. Let's close some noise here so we can check it out easily. Okay. So first magnet is 90K. Strongest price target because it adds a lot of confluence according to this one. A2, 88, which we're floating just above. So gamma flip, 88. Wait, so the expiration is January 30, so it's still like, okay, it's Friday, so things are going to get heated up, especially if we're nearby. So the resistance, you set it at 92K, okay, which okay, that's a nice confluence in there. But no confluence according to this one. Max Payne, which is always interesting to see. So gamma cliffs. What? Oh, there he is. Yeah, take over, please, in the presentation. You can present. You can present. All right. There we go. Yeah. Yep. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Tell me where. Mm. Let me go check it. Okay. So you will set your entries around 80? Mm-hmm. Fair. 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 Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's also because like we according also to the document you presented, I don't think people want to see it go anywhere for this week until the 30th, until the end of the month. I mean, unless someone gets, yeah, unless someone gets royally fucked, but there's no one's interest for that. Mm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. This one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the total chop here. Yeah, no, it's a very sensible approach. That's actually consistent. That's actually very consistent. Because, yeah, It's no, and also I appreciate the fact because I think it's super early where you are, so I appreciate you tuning in. Yeah, and that was nice. And maybe next Sunday I can start it like a little bit later, so you have time to at least get your coffee in. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I'm going to try to do. Yeah, you know what I can do is I can start like half an hour later, just do my usual bullshit, and then you join in and give us the lecture about the technical stuff, right? S- Yeah, 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 yeah. No, I think half an hour will work. So you just tune in, they just pass the ball to you, because this is very, I think this is very informative, especially for people that are interested in the option. I think you have a nice format here. Me, I'm not an option trader. I don't base much about options. I just keep an eye on the expiration dates. What are the biggest interest on strikes? Because oftentimes they will act, as you said, as a magnet, but I'm not structured as you, so that would be nice to have in. Absolutely. That's I think it would be useful for many people to keep an eye on it. But then, of course, some people maybe want to specialize, but just keeping an eye on it, it's a very good policy to have. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You do a lot of NQ, right? You do a lot of NQ, right? Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. Yeah, NQ is commission free, basically. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, no, no, I agree because like that even for me when I calculate the commissions at the end of the month, I want to cry on crypto. But the problem is the access to trading NQ for me, for geographical reasons, is very toxic. The amount of certifications that I have to get and the pink slips, like reverse pink slips. So unless I want to trade on a bloody ETF that is going to eat me alive in other ways, like with B books and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm sitting in crypto for this reason. When you see like 4 or 5 digits commissions per month, trust me, 4 or 5 digits. So it's painful. It's painful. But yeah, no, NQ must be super fun to trade. Like it looks very fun. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the levels, the trends are amazing. look very clean. And the market profile on this would be super cool. Market profile on NQ. Let me check if I can get one on Kiyotaka. Just. I I don't. I don't use a TPO on TradingView. I think because like you need a like an upper tier of subscription that I don't really need. No, I don't think they have NQ. Yeah, because I think the API for Nasdaq is super expensive. So they have it. NDX. Let me check. Which this one? Oh, cool. Oh, they added it recently, I think. Because I haven't seen it. Where's that? Uh, no, no, but it could be. Yeah, it could be. It could be. It could be. Equities. No, but they maybe. Yeah. Stuck. Oh no, these are SPX technology. Sorry, SPY. An SPY. There it is. Yeah. Ah, let's have some fun. Let's see if no, we cannot get the TPO on this one. What do you use for a TPO on equities? Of course, yeah. Axo, yeah. Axo used it for many years. Very nice tool. Very nice tool. As a learning as a learning curve, but it's worth. It's just I think the price tag puts a lot of people off because it doesn't come cheap, but it's like professional grade. Like it's alright. It's alright. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I might get back to it sometime. It's just like now I'm very comfortable with Kiyotaka and using some tools here on TradingView, but I'm not a big fan of TradingView in general because I find it very limiting, and I was spoiled on Exo. I think Kiyotaka has more quantitative stuff in the level, while Exo is more order flow. That's like the impression that I get. But yeah, for like all the footprints they have so many footprints for many things, and T size and Z scores. It's very useful. Like when I was more order flow heavy. Yeah, and also you don't typically see it free, which is like the, the insane upside. I don't know what these guys run on, but like I wish them the best. All right, all right. Me, I think I'm ready to close. You're going back to bed or you start grinding for the day? All right. Yeah, yeah, that's what you gotta do. Yeah, you gotta feed. Now you need the fuel for the car. So you have, you have to feed it now. Um, yeah, also that. A second one, first level pay doesn't have it. As far as I know, it's called premium plan. Dwarf Mage says, yeah, yeah, something like that. Cause when I started with EXO, they had like a free plan, and it was quite good. And now they removed a lot of stuff from the free plan. At the time, it was only web. Then they had the app. I think for the app was like $150 per month, or something, or 230. I don't remember. Let's have a look. Exo Shorts. Yeah, what's the pricing here? Oh, by the way, Insilico used to work with them. It was per year, per year. Yeah, that's the Pro is $40. Yeah, so it's like 500 euros per year or something. Which is not too bad, but it's not super cheap either. I think I started with this one. It's like $200 per month. But yeah, now they move all the super premium features like all this stuff and connectors to CME and Q and so on. You get them only with a desktop, I guess. Um. Anyways, that's it. Maybe one day I will do something with EXO. Why not? Why not? All right. Okay. I think that's it for today. Could be. Because it's time to. Huh? Yes? No, no. Say. Hmm. All right. Yeah. Don't bother Sander too much, but bother him just enough. All right, guys. I think that's it. Thank you so much for coming. There's more and more people. That's means maybe maybe this stuff is interesting somehow. Okay. Have a good day. If you're at the beginning of the day, have a good night. If you're at the end, like me. And Sonder, thank you so much for joining and giving us a very good explanation. Bye bye. This kid is hardcore. Very precise.
How?
It's fine. It's 5:30. I can do it. It's like maybe next Sunday. We can start a little bit later. I told you. Yeah, even half an hour will be fine. So I can wake up at 5:30. Because he woke up just to do a presentation for for the server.